Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome in to the East Bayfield Community Center for today's U22 Elite action between the Kingston Ice Wolves and the Barrie Sharks. I'm your host, Josh McCann. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone, here on this Sunday afternoon from the Shark Tank. Second half of a back-to-back at home for the Sharks, and they're looking for a bit of a better result than yesterday after a tough 1-0 loss to the Ottawa Lady Sens. Ottawa up in 7th place in the standings right now, so definitely a tough opponent, but Sharks have been playing tough opponents as of late on a run against 4 of the top 10 teams over their last 5 games, with a matchup against Ridley College in between there. For the Kingston Ice Wolves, they're coming in today off a 4-1 loss to the Central York Panthers yesterday. However, they still are a strong opponent, sitting in 12th place in league standings at 13-5-2. The Sharks sit in 11th place at 14-8-0. This is the second meeting of 2 for these two teams. They opened the season off on September 5th in Kingston. It was a 2-1 Sharks win in that one. Mallie Winter and Sam Larman got goals in the first period, and then Kaylin Fisher, the defenseman for the Kingston Ice Wolves, got a goal in the third period to make that game 2-1, but that was all the scoring in that one, and don't expect too much scoring in this one either. Two teams with really strong goaltending. Both teams only have 58 goals for Kingston, 57 for the Sharks, but the goals against only 37 for Barrie, 43 for Kingston. That's among the lowest in the U22 Elite League this season. Sharks coming in on a 2-game losing streak and 1 of 3 in their last 4 games, looking to turn it around today against a Kingston team they went 2-0 against last season and are 1-0 already against this year. The Ice Wolves, though, will be looking for a better performance. They struggled a bit yesterday, losing 4-1 to Central York. They opened the scoring 3 minutes into that game, but they were held off the board for the next 57 minutes, with left. The Central York Panthers win that game 4-1. This is the final game for the Sharks before the US-Canada Cup next weekend in Kitchener and Waterloo. They'll play some other teams around U22 and U19. Hope to have a strong performance in that tournament before taking on Cambridge and London on a road trip December 12th and 13th, a Friday-Saturday. That'll be 7 p.m. in Cambridge, 3:15 on Saturday in London. Final home game for the Sharks until December 20th. Only 2 more home games after today, going until the Christmas break. Looking at the starting lineups, first for Kingston. On defense, number 51, Quinn McFarland, and number 94, Kaylin Fisher. At forward, number 7, Ashley White, number 9, Rio Pierre, and number 24, Ava Verana. In net for Kingston is number 1, Claire Scott. On defense for the Sharks, number 10, Sonia Mehta, number 11, Piper 7. At forward, number 12, Mallie Winter, number 13, Maddie McKay, and number 29, Jenny Keller. In net for the Sharks is number 74, Ava Sador, so the same goaltending matchup from a few months ago when these two teams faced off in September. Sador had a great game, so did Claire Scott. It felt like in that game the Sharks could have had a few more goals than just the 2 that they had. They played a strong effort in that one, but Scott was able to make a couple huge saves to keep Kingston in it. No scratches on the ice for the Sharks, no call-ups either, but there is one scratch behind the bench. Head coach Dwayne Eldridge is not in attendance for today's game, so the Sharks going a bit short-handed on the bench today. But on the ice, all 12 forwards, 6 defense, and 2 goalies are healthy and ready to go for today's game, as we have about 20 seconds in the warm-up. A lot of games out of town. The P and Stony Creek, Whitby, Mississauga, Windsor, Etobicoke, the Ottawa Sens, Central York, Bluewater, North York, Waterloo, East Ottawa, Brampton, Durham West, Leaside, and Burlington, and the Ottawa 67s against the OHA Mavericks. So as the buzzer goes, the two teams will get into their huddles, and then we'll get set with player introductions and the national anthem. Then it's puck drop from the East Bayfield Community Center. We're ready to get underway here from the East Bayfield Community Center for today's matchup between the Kingston Ice Wolves and the Barrie Sharks. Second game of two for both teams this weekend, and they're both looking for a better result than yesterday. The Ice Wolves coming off a 4-1 loss to the Central York Panthers, and the Sharks coming off a 1-0 loss to the Ottawa Senators. In net for Kingston is number one, Claire Scott, 5-4 in the season with a .921 save percentage. Scott stopped 18 of 18 against the North York Storm last Sunday. For the Sharks, number 74, Ava Sador, 8-3 on the year with a .932 save percentage. She stopped 27 of 30 last weekend in a loss to Nepean. Rio Pierre winning a draw over Malley Winter, and we are underway here on a Sunday afternoon from the Shark Tank. Battle for the puck, and it's Pierre coming free with it. She'll drop it back for Quinn McFarland. McFarland plays the head, tipped into the zone by Verona. Knocked back out the other way and sent ahead by Jenny Keller. Puck goes down the ice, grabbed by Fisher. Behind the net plays the head, that's tipped ahead. Right back into possession of the Sharks. Here's Dion to Cosgrave. Up ahead, Meta. Sonia Meta tipping it into the zone. Fisher is there. Around the boards, that's knocked down by Dion, but grabbed by Pierre. Pierre plays the head. Wallace able to grab it for the Sharks and will knock it back. Cosgrave ahead for Dion. That's deflected to the middle, intercepted by Jarman. Jarman to Cora. She loses the puck. Here's France off the boards, played ahead. Grabbed on the boards by Borton, knocked off the puck by Wallace. Out for it against the boards. Puck knocked free, grabbing it there. Barton as she'll try and send it out of the zone, and that works. Shreds pass across, still goes right to Goliath. And now into the zone come the Ice Wolves, but just offside as Jarman was ahead of Goliath on that one, negating that opportunity for the Ice Wolves. Just over a minute into this game. Off the draw, Sharks with possession. Sam Larman going to bring it into the zone. She scored last time these two teams faced off. Flipped into the corner. Rathwell tried to play it ahead. That's knocked down by Harbeck. Battle for it, knocked back behind the net. Grabbed by McCoy. Malaysia McCoy tried to play it forward. That's intercepted. May Severn comes through the middle. Takes the shot. Stopped by Scott. Really opportunity there for Severn. Coming into the air, 2 goals and an assist for Severn. Missed some time with an injury, but just getting back and trying to get the rust off. Here's Fisher playing it around. Meta able to keep it in on the board. Sonia Meta steps up, trying to center for Swanson. That got deflected wide. Swanson up to the point for 7. Down the corner now, Stewart. Kate Stewart going to bring it around, puts it back to the point. Meta across to 7. 7 to Swanson. Swanson comes up across. Meta again. Sonia Meta takes the shot, deflected wide. Puck comes back to Swanson. Sharks continue to work it around. Swanson tried to play it to De Silva. That's knocked down. Swanson gets it back again. Down to the corner, McFarland. Sent into the boards by De Silva. Puck knocked free and turned over. De Silva's got a tap in. El De Silva with her 3rd of the year gifted that one off a deflection off the side of the net, and the Sharks open the scoring just over 2 minutes in. It's 1-0. Fast start for the Sharks. They've been struggling to get some scoring as of late, so an early goal here is big. Trotter trying to move to the middle. That's broken up. Back the other way, McKay. Played ahead to Mally Winter. She'll send it in. That hit a defender. Winter across. Keller waits. Goes back to the point for Cosgrave. That gets past her. Out back the other way. Chasing now is Weimer. Sidor gets there. Right across to Dion. Obviously that goal unassisted off the Kingston turnover. Here's Keller. Played around to Dion. Dion to the middle. That's turned over. Chance for White. Stopped by Sidor. Ashley White looking for her 7th goal of the season there. Off the turnover. Pierre wins it, back to the point. Here's Rathwell, takes the shot. That deflects up in the air, down to the corner for Pierre. Pierre behind her own net, pinned to the boards by Charette. Verona now. Spins down, that's gloved by Charette. Trying to play it ahead, that's broken up. Pierre puts it out front, intercepted by Wallace. Dale Wallace off the boards. Out the other way, McCoy grabs it, sends it right back in. Charette gives to Wallace. Brumwell ahead of her, but that's knocked down by Verona. France now chipping it ahead, and Wallace will send it in deep. Down behind the net, McCoy, chased by Wallace. McCoy tried no-look pass, turned over, center for Brumwell out front, stopped by Scott. McCoy tried to go back the other way to her defense partner there. Wallace knocked it down, gets it out front for Brumwell. Good opportunity there. Off the draw. It's McFarland kicking it around, turned over. Larman behind the net, trying to put it out front for Severn. That's intercepted. It's Jarman getting it out of the zone. Now back the other way. Here comes Fisher. Kingston captain trying to drop for Goliath. Does eventually get there. Goliath pass across to Telfer, knocked down by Willard. Goliath able to get the puck back now. Up to the point, Fisher. keeping it in the zone. Now going to send it down low. Knocked down by Goliath. On the point, Harbeck battling her, and it's knocked out of the zone. Fisher now just sends it in. Ice Wolves wanting a change. Sador leaves it. Willard ahead for Larman. Try to get it out of the zone, and it will. Telfer upended. Puck comes right back in. Here's Charette. Penalty coming to the Ice Wolves. Here's Charette. Up ahead to Silva. Trying to drop it back, and now that'll be touched. Head contact coming to an Ice Wolves player here. It's like Cora Goliath. Be 2 minutes. Sharks power play looking to go to work. And puck sent right down the ice immediately by the Ice Wolves though. Sharks power play 0 for 3 yesterday in the loss. 10 for 95 on the year total for a 10.5%. The Ice Wolves coming in 1 for 2 on the penalty kill yesterday. Here's De Silva. That's our opening goal here. Send it across Meta. Into the zone, around the net for Swanson. Swanson behind the net, intercepted. Trying to get out there was Borton, that's kept it. Meta to 7. On the point, 7 down to Swanson. And right back to the point. Piper 7. Simone Swanson. Backhanded down behind the net now, 2 Sharks there. De Silva trying to knock it free with Stewart. But it'll come free to Borton, she'll have room to clear, and she gets it down the ice successfully. Sharks make changes, so do the Ice Wolves. 7. Head for Cosgrave. Nearly broken up, and now the Ice Wolves have a short-handed opportunity for Pierre, but that's broken up. Now back the other way. McKay stops up, sends it across, open player, that's Winter. Gives off for Jenny Keller. Keller to Winter. 45 seconds left in the power play. Keller back to Winter, now to the point. Dion. Cross to Cosgrave. She'll step up, shoots, saves Scott, rebounds there, but Rathwell able to clear it to safety. Now back on the point. Dion to the middle for Keller. Tried to go across to Winter. Eventually does get there. Now Cosgrave on the point. Makes a move to the middle. Cosgrave back to Winter. Natalie Winter across to Cosgrave. Takes the shot. Blocked by McCoy. Rebound in the corner for McKay. Sharks doing a good job working the puck around. McKay going to take a skate. Takes the shot. Stopped by Scott. And she's able to gather it. And that'll be whistled down. Jenny Keller was there trying to get the rebound. Last time these two teams played, it was a penalty-filled affair. 9 power plays for the Sharks, 7 for the Ice Wolves. France wins the draw. McFarland coming back, sends it around. That hits the boards. Tipped out the other way. Elia back out of the box. That'll do it for the opening power play of this game. Here's Wallace. Try to come to the middle. That's knocked down. Shrett is there. Right off the boards. Wallace. Nice move on Goliath. Trying to come into the zone. Tipped around. Brumwell couldn't keep it in. Taylor Wallace coming right back in. That's knocked down and flipped up and out of play. On the draw, Borton coming around, plays a 4. That's tipped to Keel. Keel looking for Pierre, deflects to the corner. Battle for it, Larman. That's tipped ahead. Now here comes Pierre up the wing. Pierre takes the shot, scores! Rio Pierre with her 15th of the season. Had to decide whether she wanted to pass it or shoot it or pass it to Verona. She decides to shoot it, and that was a smart play. And this game tied at 1 here. So we're tied at 1 apiece here early in this game. Pierre trying to come right back in. Sending it down low, knocked down by 7. 7 battling with Verona, knocked down White. Tried to get it out front. Swanson tipping it ahead. Now gloved by De Silva. And here come the Sharks. Stewart up the wing. Takes a shot. Scott may have got a piece of that one with the stick. Swanson to De Silva. Back to the point. Meta across for 7. 7 down to the corner for Stewart. Stewart out front. Swanson a backhander off the side of the net. There's McCoy. Grabbed by Verona. She'll send it into the zone. White and Verona get the assist on the goal from Pierre. Meta ahead, knocked down. Puck in the middle. Winter down on the ground, was able to knock that one down. 7 ahead for McKay. Trying to work around Rathwell. That's broken up. Weimer will send it out. Knocked back into the zone. Winter battling with Rathwell. Rathwell upended. And the puck will come out. There's Cosgrave up ahead for Jenny Keller. Right back in the zone come the Sharks. Keller, cross-ice pass to McKay, just missed. That's tipped out of the zone, and back the other way comes Wimmer. Cosgrave able to break that one up in the neutral zone. McKay has 3 Ice Wolves on her, but still able to get it back to her defense. Cosgrave to Keller. Keller floating it across, that's knocked down. Fisher spins back, plays it forward. Chambers off the boards, up ahead, into the zone comes the Ice Wolves. Puck down behind the net, put out front, that's broken up. Pass there by Ella Mulder. Back the other way, France trying to catch up, but it's grabbed by Fisher. Fisher across to Mulder, has some speed into the zone, centers it, shoot, takes the shot, stopped by Sador. Up on the face-off, puck goes down to the corner. Jarman around to Goliath. Goliath back to the point, cross to Keel, takes the shot, deflected down to the corner. Goliath will get there for the Ice Wolves, backhanding it down, that's intercepted by Willard. Willard looking for Brumwell, that's intercepted, and Keel sent it right back in. That got past the door, comes around, Telfer will get there. There's Telfer, played down past Jarman. There to get it, Adriel Charette. Played forward, knocked out of the zone by Brumwell. Battled for it, knocked down. Telfer plays it forward, that's broken up. It was Brumwell to France, and that's chipped in. Puck goes on net, Scott will grab it and hold. 10:09 to go. So halfway through the first period, it's the Sharks and Ice Wolves tied at 1 apiece. 2 teams that play more of a win the game 3-2 than 6-5 style, but a couple early goals here in this one. Here's Pierre coming through the middle, gets around Larman, flips it ahead to White. Ashley White into the zone, gets it to the middle. Verona a chance, stopped by Sador. McCoy steps up, gets around Harbeck. Laying it down behind the net, Verona and Larman. They're tied up going into the boards. Puck goes behind the net. White putting it out front for Pierre. That was broken up. And now back the other way comes Sam Larman trying to get around McCoy. She gets it past the red line, sends it in. McFarland works it back for McCoy, now ahead for Ava Verona. She'll get it out. Grabbed by Meta, off the boards, into the zone. Right onto the stick of Fisher. She'll flip it back the other way, puck going down the length of the ice. Cosgrave just going to defend and let Sador hold that one. So I'll set up an offensive zone face-off for the Ice Wolves. Osborne on the draw against Stewart. That's tipped ahead by Swanson, but not out of the zone. Fisher played across for Trotter. Broken up by Dion. Puck goes to the corner. Fisher playing it around. Are the Sharks, and it's De Silva now. Well, De Silva, that's broken up. Cosgrave sends it in. Knocked down by McFarland. Swanson trying to get there. Outside the zone, she'll send it in. Sharks will make changes. Scott behind her own net, gives to McFarland. Turned it over now. Stewart trying to come to the middle. She's upended. Battle for it. McKay knocks it down. Going to spin. Takes the shot. That's deflected wide. Rebound Fisher. Battling with Stewart. That's broken up. Jenny Keller trying to come to the middle. Penalty coming. And this one's going to be for a slash against the Ice Wolves. And Kaylin Fisher going to the box. Shark power play 0 for 1. They had the puck in the zone a lot. They were doing a good job working it around, but couldn't get that good shot. Here's Charette, a chance, scores! There's the shot the Sharks needed on the power play. Charette's got 2 goals in her last 3. It's her 3rd of the season, and the Sharks have taken the lead back. It's 2-1. Back-to-back weekends with goals for Charette. She opened the scoring last weekend against Nepean. Now she gives the Sharks the lead here in the first period. Chambers into the zone. That's broken up by Charette. She's upended. And now back the other way, McKay. Trying to get her on board, and she's upended there. No hand up on the play. Puck goes into the zone. Willard. Cross for Charette. Flipped all the way across. Nice pass to Jenny Keller into the zone. Here's Keller. They tried to go back to the point. It'll come out of the zone. 7 back to Meta. Sharks were changing their defensive pairing. Winter ahead to Keller. Right on the tape. Keller floats it in down to the corner. Taya Wallace going to get there first. Wallace coming up to the point. Skate around. Waits. Now cutting around Chambers. Wallace trying to backhand to the net. That's broken up. Now she knocks it down. That's the puck again. Wallace to the point for Meta. Meta to Wallace. Wallace to the net. Knocked down. Now deflected to the corner, and Taya Wallace has the puck again. Wallace working around Keel, trying to battle for it, puts it out front for Brumwell, knocked down. And Chambers chips it to the corner, and it's grabbed by Taya Wallace. Wallace to the point for Meta. The board's knocked down by Shoot. Play it ahead, puck will come out of the zone. And Sharks grab it. Meta ahead for Brumwell, right back into the zone. Allie Winter gets the only assist on that power play goal. Here's France. Fighting through, trying to take a shot. That's deflected up in the air and down to the corner. Larman aggressively getting in there on Rathwell. Foul for it behind the net, knocked free by McCoy. McCoy ahead for Jarman. That gets passed. Puck goes down the length of the ice and into the Kingston end. Or the Shark end, sorry. 7 to Dion. Knocked down. Collision there in front of the Shark bench. Sharks have it, and they have some space to work with. Here's Harbeck up the wing. Into the zone. Takes the shot. Stopped by Scott, and a whistle. Off the face-off, Fisher. Soraya around for White. Tipped ahead. Severn able to keep it in. 13.5 minutes into this one. We've already reached the same amount of goals as we had in the first meeting between these two teams. McFarland ahead. Knocked to the middle. Only one there is Harbeck. She'll come right back in. Harbeck for Severn. Trying to work her way around the defense. Takes the shot. Save. Rebound loose. Pierre. Flips it out back the other way. Pass Cosgrave. Icing waved off. Wouldn't have mattered. Veronica's going to be first to the puck. Works her way around Dion. Down in the corner. White pins off Cosgrave, and now Keel. Coming ahead. Severn knocks her into the boards. Puck back to the point. White. Working her way in. Spins back. Alicia White. Putting it down low to the net. Stopped by Sador. And a whistle. Now a bit of rough stuff out in front, but cooler heads will prevail. Off the draw. Ted Willard plays it forward, intercepted. That's knocked down by Stewart. Played ahead. Now maybe a break. El De Silva in all alone. Shot, scores! El De Silva's got a pair in the first period, and the Sharks' offense has come to life. It's 3-1. Da Silva with her second of the day. She had 2 coming into today, so she's doubled her scoring total. Just returning to the lineup, missed a couple games, played in yesterday's game, and now looking great today. Here's McCoy right back into the zone. That's tipped ahead. Da Silva again unassisted. Puck knocked around Swanson. Willard tried to knock that one down. Played ahead, Chambers. Back to the point, Rathwell. Rathwell takes a shot that goes down to the corner. Mulder and Schrepp battle. Here's a shot from the point from McCoy that was blocked off. Sador doesn't have her stick. Swanson will flip it out. But Kingston has possession, so Sador can't go and get her stick. Battle for it there. Willard going to come to the middle. Sador will head over, grab the stick. Willard takes a shot, stopped by Scott. Down the corner, Fisher up the boards, broken up. Sent out by the Ice Wolves. Willard flips it right back in. McFarland will get there first. She'll backhand it back. Fisher is there, chipped ahead. Played to the middle. Here's Goliath trying to come into the zone. That's knocked down. Sharks trying to go back the other way. Fisher trying to bring it into the zone, but that was broken up. Keller for McKay. Maybe a 2-on-1 for the Sharks. McKay up the wing, takes a shot, scores! Another for the Sharks. This time it's Maddie McKay. It's 4-1 in the first period. Sixth of the year for McKay. What a first period for the Sharks. And it's one they needed with the scoring struggles as of late. Here's Brumwell, put to Wallace. Wallace to the middle, knocked down. France to the net, stopped there by Liliana Reed, who is now coming to the game after that latest goal. Reed 8-3 on the year with .936 save percentage, stopped 26 of 30 against Central York yesterday. Rathwell played around the boards for White. Chipped ahead, kept in the zone by Brumwell. Cosgrave takes a shot. Reed just got a piece of that one. Rebound McCoy, kept in by Dion. Upended is Wallace. Flipped ahead, puck comes out of the zone. Dion, that's intercepted, battle for it. France trying to get it back. Keller and Meta get the assist there. Now Kingston trying to go on the attack here. Pierre trying to put it up out front. That's broken up. France ahead for Brumwell. She chips it to Wallace. Backhanded into the zone. McFarland played ahead. Grabbed by Cosgrave. Cosgrave sent into the zone. Grabbed by Fisher. Ahead. Comes out. Mulder. Tipped forward. Willard. Cross for Charette. Up ahead. Larman. Knocked down by Severn. Ahead. Kaya Harbeck into the zone. Harbeck chip it to the net, goes wide. Harbeck quickly coming after Fisher, collides with her in the boards, and now Severn. Battling offshoot there, trying to put it out to the point. That's broken up. Mulder will get it out of the zone. Charette grabs it, sends it right back in. Fisher ahead. That took a weird bounce off the stanchion. Now back the other way, maybe a 2-on-1. For the Ice Wolves. Trotter up the wing, tried to take a shot, fanned on it. Second opportunity, just bounces to the net. Sador makes the easy save. Shoot trying to go back to the point. Meta sends her into the boards and now gets the puck. Sonia Meta coming around, playing it ahead. Puck goes past Harbeck down the length of the ice, and that's icing. Face off, Meta, around for Charette. Sent ahead, past Larman, down the line to the ice. Larman's going to negate icing here. Nice effort allows the Sharks to get their changes. Keel Trying to play it ahead. That's broken up by De Silva. Knocked back the other way. Now here comes Osborne into the zone. Chance for the Ice Wolves. Shot stopped by Sador. Telfer was supposed to be Stewart, but now it's De Silva after she got sent out. Pass across, knocked down by Swanson. It comes back into the zone. Meta backhanding it back. 7. Behind her own net, gives to De Silva. El De Silva ahead to Stewart. Pass across to Swanson. Swanson working into the zone. And a drop back, backhands it down the corner. Stewart, first one there. Approaching the final minute of the first period. And for Kingston, they're just hoping to get it there with allowing any more goals and be able to reset and try and get back in this game. Jarman playing it ahead. She knocks down Dion. Cosgrave battling with Goliath. Cosgrave able to send it back. De Silva to Swanson. Battle for it, knocked down. Now Dion through the middle. Dion into the zone. Fisher. Fisher upended into the boards. Battle for it. Knocked free. Here's McKay working around the defender. McKay trying to knock it loose. It goes back to the point for Cosgrave. Cosgrave to Keller. Trying to take a shot. Broken up by Pierre. And then Keller and Verona upended. And McKay comes away with the puck. McKay trying to put it to the net. That's broken up. Puck knocked free. Jenny Keller's got it back. Here's Keller on the point. Stepping up. Sends it to the net. Sharks looking for a deflection there, but it goes wide. Dion comes forward. That's knocked down. Winter trying to help out, but Verona got to the middle for Pierre. And out back the other way come the Ice Wolves. 20 seconds to go. Pierre taken down. White trying to put it out front. That's broken up. Cosgrave to Keller off the boards. McFarland keeps it in. McFarland ahead. Cosgrave grabs it. Sends it to Keller. Keller to McKay. Forward. McKay into the zone. Nice pass to Keller. She has space. That shot, though, goes wide. Trying to rush that one as time was expiring, and that will do it for the first period. It was a scoring affair. 3 straight for the Sharks to end the period, and they have a 4-1 lead going into the intermission. As we're going to take a quick break, and hope you'll join us back for the second period. Well, welcome back to the second period here between the Ice Wolves and the Sharks. 4-1 for Barrie after one period. Well, we'll have to see if the scoring keeps up here in the second period after 5 goals in the first. El Da Silva with 2 for the Sharks. She got the first one and the third one for Barrie. Rio Pierre, the only goal scorer for Kingston. She tied the game at 1. Then 3 straight goals from the Sharks scored by Charette on the power play, then Da Silva, then Maddie McKay. Sharks were 1 for 2 on the power play. Kingston yet to get their first power play. Shots on goal after the first period, 12-6 in favor of Barrie. Second of 2 meetings between these two teams. Sharks winning the first one 2-1 back in September. And it's the final game for the Sharks before next weekend's US-Canada Cup in Kitchener and Waterloo. And then back to regular season action December 12th and 13th in Cambridge and London. You can catch the streams Friday night in Cambridge at 7 p.m., Saturday afternoon in London at 3:15. After that, 2 more home games on the 20th and 21st against Windsor and Whitby. And that will do it until the new year to the Sharks, and they're trying to go into the new year break on a roll. And if they can keep up the scoring from the first period, that'd be a good start. It's a very tough Kingston team that Sharks have to stay on the gas pedal. They had a 4-0 lead a couple of weeks ago against Central York. That game ended up going to a shootout where the Sharks would eventually win it, so wanting to stay on the gas pedal and get the full 3 points here today. 7 up the boards. Knocked down, Winters there. Play it back to Meta. Around the boards, McKay keeps it in. Knocked around. Ice Wolves back in. Here's Verona, offside. France and Pierre. Off the draw, Verona trying to force her way in, but that's broken up by Dion. Keel battling for it against the boards. France tips it forward. Brumwell trying to get it out. Kept in. White's got it. All right, back into the zone. Here's White taking the shot. That's blocked. Puck goes down behind the net. Storr knocks it free. Ice Wolves tried to put it back on net. Storr made the save. Here's Wallace, and Storr upended there with the netting off. So net back on, we're back ready to go. Telfer, France on the draw. The Ice Wolves make a change. Sador having issues with the net again. Off the face-off, Wallace has it. She'll come out of the zone, chips it past Porton, now trying to use her speed to get past her. Wallace going to get there, trying to slide it out front, but Porton was able to cut that one off. Wallace trying to go back to the point, broken up by Jarman. Grabbed by Keel, up the boards, knocked down. Kathleen Dion off the boards. Grabbed by the Ice Wolves, Jarman. Knocked down by France. Brumwell tried to come to the middle, that's broken up. Brumwell able to get it back. Played off the boards. Cosgrave flipped in. Knocked down, Keel. Flipped ahead, Cosgrave intercepts that. Now right back into the zone come the Sharks. Here's May 7 up the wing. Takes the shot denied by, and then, Jarman almost put it in her own net there. Close call there. It was Reed making the save. Shred able to keep that in the zone. Kingston gets it right back out. Sent down the length for the Isidore. Using her stick, guides it to Gabby Willard. Willard back to Charette. Had a goal earlier in this one, played ahead, Larman. Grabbed by Rathwell. Couldn't get it past the red line. Now flipped ahead, Charette. Checked into the boards, that's whistled down, hand pass. Faceoff's going to come back just outside of the Shark zone. Sharks will switch the forwards up. Charette and Willard will remain out there. Chambers against Stewart on this faceoff as Stewart comes out with De Silva and Swanson. Faceoff won by Stewart. That's tipped into the zone. Puck goes down behind the net. Charette turned it over. Here's Mulder. Mulder back to the point, Rathwell. Rathwell played down to the corner for Chambers. It's broken up, Mulder. Around the boards, got past McCoy, out back the other way. Here goes De Silva chasing, trying to get around McCoy. Couldn't get there, pushed into the boards. McCoy around, Chambers goes back. Played ahead by Shoup, kept into the zone by 7. Backhanded down low, that's broken up by Rathwell. Tipped around, Stewart gets it free. There's Kate Stewart through the middle, spins it back to the point for 7. 7 to Meta. Came off her stick, now she gets it back. Meta the 7, takes the shot, stopped by Reed and a whistle. On the face-off, Winter wins it. Keller back to Dion. Dion takes the shot, saved by Reed, and McKay couldn't get there in time for the rebound. Another whistle. Winter wins it. Keller chipped down to the corner for McKay. McKay comes to the middle, takes the shot, blocked. Puck is loose. Fisher played ahead. Puck goes down the ice. Cosgrave. There, backhand off the boards for Keller. Cosgrave gets it to the middle. Keller's got it, gives to McKay. And McKay fighting it off, backhands it into the zone. Osborne is there, quickly chased by Cosgrave and knocks that down. Winter out front for McKay, broken up by McFarland. McFarland can go back the other way. Kept in the zone by Dion. And then that one goes up into crowd here. Got a whistle, 16-19 to go. Pierre gonna get kicked out of the face-off before she can even make it in. Face-off won by the Ice Wolves. Keel around the boards for Verona. 2-on-2 out back the other way. Into the zone come the Ice Wolves. Verona slides it to the net for White. She was nearly able to get off Willard there and get an opportunity. Sharks turn it over. Verona getting it down to White. Deflected. Stopped by Sador. Rebound. Not there. Sador sprawls out to make sure she has that puck. Here's Keel, trying to get around Charette. Balfour, Severn knocked down. White on it, behind the net. Spins back, played off the boards. Keel. Tipped up in the air. Charette chips it back, grabbed by Pierre, trying to put it out front for Verona. That's broken up. Battle for Pierre. Knocked down, White. Kicked ahead, grabbed by Harbeck. Harbeck gets it out. Verona sends it right back in. Ice Wolves will make some changes. Here's Willard. Going to cut to the middle. Gets it ahead. Larman chips it forward. Icing waved off. Grabbed by Rathwell. She can get there in time. Collides with Severn. Official went down there. Looks like he's okay. Battle for it. Severn trying to get to the middle. That's broken up. Back the other way. Meta grabs it. Fighting off Jarman. Gets it across to 7. Now here goes May Severn. Severn into the zone, cutting to the middle, trying to work around McCoy. Now Stewart a chance, that's knocked down. Puck knocked free to the Ice Wolves, and back the other way comes Telfer. Telfer off the boards into the zone. Meta's there. Meta working it around, plays it ahead to Swanson. Swanson tips it to Stewart. There goes Kate Stewart into the zone. Has De Silva with her. Stewart upended. Battle for it. Fisher able to get it back. Fisher around the net for Jarman. Jarman to the middle. Telfer back to Fisher. Flipped in, down behind the net. Cosgrave is there. Cosgrave knocked off the puck there by Fisher. Stewart trying to get it back. Battling with Telfer. De Silva trying to knock it back to her defense. Cosgrave to Swanson. Swanson up the wing, flips it forward. And into the zone comes De Silva. De Silva trying to put it out front. That's broken up. Knocked to White. Chambers now ahead. Mulder chips it forward. Race for the puck. It's going to be Sador coming out to grab that one. Now McKay going back the other way. Plays it forward into the zone. Here comes Winter. Knocked off the puck quickly there by Keel. Pass across, hit a skate. Kingston has it again. Chambers tips it to the middle. Mulder goes down. Puck comes across. There's a shot from Shoot. Broken up. There's Chambers. Flipping it in. Sador jumps up, grabs that one for a whistle with 13:29 to go. France and Osborne on the draw. France wins it. Balfour to the net. Kicked free by Willard. Grabbed by Brumwell. Broken up, and there's Trotter. Off the boards. Grabbed by Charette. Puck comes around to Wallace. Battling with Borton. Puck knocked through behind the net. Osborne tripped up by Willard. That'll be a penalty. Ice Wolves going to get their first power play of the afternoon. Borton on the point, 6-on-5. Takes the shot, glove saved by Sador. It's going to be Gabby Willard for a trip. Kingston power play went 0 for 4 yesterday against Central York. Sharks penalty kill 2 for 3 yesterday and operating at 82.5% on the season. 7 trying to clear, kept in by Fisher. Fisher to Pierre, steps up, takes the shot, stopped by Sador. Rio Pierre looking for another goal there. She's got one tonight, which brings her total to 15 on the season and 20 points total. That leads all Ice Wolves in points. There's 7. The boards kept in by Verona. Verona to Pierre. Pierre back to the point. Fisher, cross, stepping up. McFarland, cross ice pass to Pierre was broken up. Pierre now gets it back to Fisher. Fisher steps up, waits, shoots. That's blocked by Larman. Clearing attempt by Severn is successful and now maybe able to get around McFarland. She will. Severn has the puck. Larman driving the net. Severn just going to gather it. Puts it down in the corner for Larman. Sharks had 2 shorthanded goals last weekend. Maybe looking for another there. Here's Pierre trying to drop it back to White. Battle for it. Stewart upended. So is 7. And the puck goes to the corner. Meta try and kill more clock. Puck still loose. Meta wrestled there by Verona. Verona tries to go back to the point. Here's Borton. Borton plays across to Keel. Keel to Verona. That's deflected wide. White tips it back to the point for Keel. 40 seconds left in the power play. Keel. White stepping up. A work around Meta now drops it back to the point. Keel again to Borton. Borton coming up the wing. Tries to take a shot. Upended by Stewart. Here's Borton. Coming around behind the net. 20 seconds left in the power play. Meta sends her into the boards. Here's a shot from the point from Keel. That goes wide. So to the boards. Here's Pierre. Rio Pierre fighting off Stewart. Still has the puck now. Pierre going to come through the middle. Gets through 2-4. Pierre with a shot. That's deflected wide. Down the corner now. Jarman back to Borton. That got past her. And that'll do it for the power play. So First penalty kill for the Sharks today is successful. Reed far out of the net there. Swanson couldn't get there in time. She takes a hard tumble there. Here goes Telfer. Around Swanson. Working it to the middle. Nearly lost it. Comes in. Cosgrave off the boards. Kingston trying to keep it there. That's broken up by De Silva. Kept in though by Goliath. Her and Dion go down. And the only one there for the grab the puck is Telfer. Telfer brings it back to the point for McCoy. McCoy takes a shot, stopped by Sador. Down loose to the corner. Puck goes back to the point, McCoy. McCoy. Telfer battling with De Silva. Kicked free and penalty coming here. Cross-checking is the call and the Ice Wolves will go back to the power play. This one going against Dion. So the Ice Wolves power play 0 for 1 today. Sharks going right back to the penalty kill. 2 power plays for the Sharks in the first, 2 for Kingston in the second. McFarland to Fisher. Her shot blocked by Keller. Trying to go back the other way. Keller forcing it forward, battling with McFarland. They both go down. Keller's shot goes wide of the net. Battle for it, tipped up in the air, and still coming for interference. And Jenny Keller wasn't able to get free for the shot, but she was able to draw a penalty against McFarland, and we'll go 4 on 4. So a minute 43, 4 on 4, and then 17 seconds of a Shark power play. So they went 1 for 2 on in the first period. Here's Charette on the point, backhanding it down to Winter. Winter to Keller behind the net. Pushed into the boards by Keel, grabbed by Pierre. Out of the zone, kicked ahead. Willard trying to tip it right back in, grabbed by Verona. Verona spins back. Across to Fisher. Fisher ahead to Pierre. Pierre knocked free. Keel broken up. Winter off the boards. Back the other way. Here goes Keller. Jenny Keller up the wing, coming into the zone, trying to work around Borton, and that's broken up. Keller to the point for Charette. Back to Keller, cutting to the middle. Keller has Meta driving the net. That's broken up by Verona. So chip it up the boards, back the other way. Getting there is White. White coming into the zone against Charette. Battle for it, Meta. Upended, she goes down, grabbed by White. Chance for the Ice Wolves. Here's Borton, tons of space, takes a shot, blockered away by Sador. Nice save there. Here's Meta sending it back around. 39 seconds left in the penalty to Dion. Borton behind the net to Meta, who intercepts it. Played ahead, past the stick of France. And then Borton tried to play it forward, knocked down by France. And the Sharks couldn't get it cleanly, now tipped ahead. Back the other way, here goes Jarman. Maybe an opportunity here. Meta trying to catch up. Jarman sends it across, stopped by Sador. Big save there from Ava Sador to keep this game at 4-1. Nice play by Jarman. The Sharks defense was able to get back and cut in on her. Off the face-off. Cosgrave. Off the boards. Final 10 seconds, 4 on 4. Here goes Brumwell into the zone. Brumwell offside. Face off just outside the Ice Wolves zone. Draw one by Kingston, sent into the zone by Rathwell. That'll do it for the 4 on 4. So the Sharks will have 17 seconds of power play time to work with. Dion will head off. Severn will come on. Here goes McKay through the middle, trying to get around. Down underneath, gets the puck back. Save, rebound goes wide. McKay and Severn both there. Now back the other way. Ice Wolves clear. That'll do it for the Shark power play. So now back 5 on 5. Arback to Severn. Severn into the zone. Waiting, Severn. battling for it, upended by Shoot. Severn plays it down behind the net. Harbeck trying to get there. It's grabbed by McCoy. Flipped ahead, off the skate of Wimmer. Ball for it, Willard. Bats it back the other way down the ice. Fisher is there, knocked down by Larman, but it does get to Shoot. Larman tried to sneak in from behind. Now she has the puck, forcing the turnover. Here goes Sam Larman into the zone. Trying to work around McCoy, puts it to the net. Stewart couldn't get there in time. Mulder trying to bring it back the other way. Now ahead to Shoot. Back the other way. Into the zone comes Wimmer. Balfour knocked down by Larman. Larman looking for Stewart. That's broken up. It's tipped ahead by Trotter. Down Wimmer. Broken up. Stewart trying to play it ahead. Backhand forward looking for Larman. That's broken up. Borton chipped ahead. Here goes Osborne. Osborne to the net. Stopped by Sador. Rebound batted wide. Willard and Osborne battling there out front. Despite the puck going the other way. Now 2-on-2. Into the zone come the Sharks. Stewart in onside. That's broken up by Keel. Sent out the other way. Netta gets there first. Gets it to De Silva. She'll cut to the middle. El De Silva has some space. Trying to take a shot. That's broken up. De Silva back to 7. Gives it over. Meta to Swanson. And that's tipped in. Grabbed by Keel. Played ahead. Sent down the length of the ice by Verona. And that's going to be an icing with 6 minutes to go. Winter and Pierre on the draw. Winter kicked out. But still able to get the puck off the faceoff. Tried to put it out front for McKay. Broken up, now back the other way. Cosgrave tried to step up, and it's a 2-on-1. Verona with White. Verona takes the shot, save, rebound, scores! Ice Wolves find the back of the net. It's Ashley White getting her 7th of the season, and it's a 4-2 game. So the scoring is slowed down here in the second, but Kingston able to get a goal. Reed drops it back. Fisher knocked up in the air. France. Played down low. Wallace to France. Back to the point. Willard. Cross. Charette. One-timer. That goes wide. Rebound came out. France couldn't get there. Puck goes up the boards. Willard keeps it in. Played down behind the net. Fisher. France able to pin her to the boards. Wallace trying to knock it free. Wallace gets there, pushed into the boards by Pierre. Pierre trying to get it. Battle forward, knocked back. Fisher. Grab it. If Kingston could ever get one more here before the break, would have a brand new hockey game going into the third. Puck goes down the ice, that'll be an icing. Still 5 minutes to play in the second period. On the draw, Severn out behind her. She went it back to him, no. Nearly was able to, but Fisher came in and broke that up. Here's Meadow. Backhanded ahead for Harbeck. Back the other way. Here goes Severn. Through the zone. Severn takes the shot wide of Reed. Rebounds there. And chipped wide by Fisher. Fisher up the boards for Meta. Shoved into the boards as she sends it to the net. Puck goes down to the corner. 7. Tipped down low. Grabbed by McFarland. Severn, penalty coming, and it's going to go against May Severn for head contact. And it's going to be 4 minutes. So the Ice Wolves power play 0 for 2 today, but we got 4 minutes to work with. They could technically tie the game. Borton off the boards. Here's Goliath trying to go back to the point. It's broken up, sent down the other way. Here's Keel. Cross to Borton. Jarman up the wing. Stewart sends her into the boards. Let's flip down the ice. Here's Keel. Ahead for Jarman. Knocked to the middle. Meta gets it out back the other way. Here come the Sharks. Stewart backing into Meta. Sonia Meta in all alone. Stopped by Reed. Big chance there for the Sharks to add on to their lead despite being shorthanded. Telfer. Back to Keel. Keel up ahead. Telfer. Working around Swanson. That's tipped into the zone. Dion battling for it. Seben gets it. Has some space, and she'll clear it the length. Reed will come out of her net, calms it down, plays it up the boards. Back the other way. Here's Fisher. Up the wing. Protected off by the Sharks. Battle for it. Puck coming back to the point. Verana able to keep it in. Verana to the middle. Pass across. Pierre puts it to the net. Dion able to break that one up. White wanting to take that one-timer. Sharks trying to come back the other way again, but that's broken up. Into the zone. Pierre upended. Keller has space to clear. Knocked down, though, by Fisher. Spins it down to Pierre. Pierre to the net. Here's Verana waiting. Backhander stopped by Sador. 2:49 left in the period. 2:20 left in the power play. Pierre across for McFarland. The point, that's knocked down. De Silva can't get it. Fisher coming to the middle. Takes the shot. Saves Sador. Rebound goes to the corner. Cosgrave able to get it out. De Silva looked like she's having an issue with her leg there. Had to come off. Back down behind the net. Cosgrave around the boards. Now under 2 minutes in the power play, so Ice Wolves won't be able to get 2 on it. But still, 1 would be big if they want to get within 1. Here's Keel to Chambers. Chambers works around Dion, takes the shot that goes wide of the net. Telfer battling into the boards, pinned by Cosgrave. Puck knocked free behind the net. Minute and a half left on the power play. Dion backhanded ahead. Puck comes out of the zone. Let's play forward. Telfer tips it ahead for Chambers. She has some space. Chambers spins back. One-timer. Stopped by Sador. And she'll clear it to safety. There's McKay trying to get it out. Puck remains in. Chambers up the boards. Battle for it. Winter clears. Final minute now of the power play. Sharks have done a good job through the first 3 minutes. Can they get through it successfully? Keel to Pierre. That's sent down the length of the ice. Icing waved off. Ice Wolves are going to make a change. Charette up the boards, clears it out. Wallace gets it down to the blue line. Here's Pierre. Ahead, that missed Fisher, goes down the ice. And icing called. Looked like an even race there for that one. Offensive zone draw off the shorthanded Sharks. Here's Fisher. Final minute of the second period, 30 seconds left in the power play. Fisher trying to work it around. She's got it through the middle. Here goes Fisher into the zone, drops for White. White to the middle. Battling off Stewart. She gets it back to the point for McFarland. McFarland stepping up, 10 seconds left in the power play. McFarland trying to go to the net, broken up by Larman. Puck sent back down the other way, and the Sharks get a huge kill there. Severn out of the box. Reed slowly able to send that one around to Fisher. Stewart upends her. Now Severn getting around the defender as Larman out front, but that's tipped wide by Rathwell. Back the other way. Goliath across. That's knocked down. Larman sends it right back into the zone. See if the Sharks can catch up to this one. Well, if that'll do it, Rathwell in the corner trying to get it free. Severn trying to put it back to the point, broken up. Kingston across, and that'll do it. So only one goal in the period, and it belongs to Ashley White of Kingston. She makes it a 4-2 game going into the third period. We're going to take a quick break for intermission, but then we'll be right back with third period coverage. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the East Bayfield Community Center. It's the Barrie Sharks with the lead, 4-2 after 2 periods. Trying to close this one out. There's 4 first-period goals from the Sharks. Elda Silva opened the scoring 2 minutes into this one to make it 1-0 for the Sharks. Rio Pierre responded 5 minutes later, making it 1-1. Sharks got power play. Adriel Charette converted in the first seconds of the power play to make it 2-1. Then it was Elda Silva again with her second of the afternoon, making it 3-1 before Maddie McKay just a minute later made it 4-1 for the Sharks. They weren't able to get on the board in the second, but Kingston was. It was Ashley White with her 7th of the season, making it 4-2 after 2 periods. And that's where we stand now, and could be a bit closer than it is. 4-2. It's still close enough for Kingston to net a comeback, but they could have got things started on a 4-minute power play there right at the end of the second period, but unable to even get 1 goal on that, and that's how we stand at 4-2 for the Sharks. They try and pick up a win here and build some momentum into next weekend's U.S.-Canada Cup. The Sharks 11-1 when leading after 2 periods, trying to close it out here. The Ice Wolves win the draw, and we're back underway. McFarland up the boards, glove down by Verona. Foul for it, puck comes back to the defense. Fisher ahead for Pierre, that's deflected into the zone. Behind the net, 7. Right up with Verona there, Meta to McKay, flip to the middle, grabbed by McFarland. McFarland tried to drop it back, Keller got a stick on that one. And then the clearing attempt by Fisher hit an official. Couple deflections, so now eventually Kingston does get it out. Cosgrave and Verona going to the boards, now 2-on-1. Pierre up the wing, passing it across. What a save by Sador! It looked like Ashley White had another goal, but she's able to slide across and get the pad there for a huge save to keep this game at 4-2. Net came off, whistle goes. Now an offensive zone draw for the Ice Wolves. France wins the draw. Dion around for Cosgrave. Brumwell gets it out of the zone. Telfer trying to come to the middle, knocked down. Goliah off the boards into the zone. Dion. That's knocked down. Puck comes to Mills Jarman. Waits, gives to Keel. On the point, takes a shot, blocked by Brumwell. Now trying to quickly go back the other way. It's Abby Brumwell up the wing, trying to beat Borden. Borden upends her. That'll be a penalty. They all go sliding into Reed. Will be for holding, and the Sharks will get another power play. Sharks power play is 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Looking for another to extend that lead to 3. And make it 5-2. 7. Her and Fisher go down in the corner. Charette open Larman. Don't think she realized there wasn't a defender there. Charette takes the shot. That's blocked. And now cleared back the other way. Fedor. Moves it behind the net. Charette up the boards, got past 7. Now Wimmer will send it back in. Charette is there, flipped across to Willard. Gabby Willard spins back. Goes to 7 now. Sharks a bit of a slow start here in the first 40 seconds to this power play. Shred ahead to Larman. Foul for it, Wimmer. Backhand to the head, back the other way comes Verona. Verona into the zone, sends it down low. Sador makes the save. the face-off. It's Meta up the wing. Out back the other way. Meta trying to work around McCoy. The deflection went to Swanson. She's offside. Doesn't realize. The other way. That's sent down the length of the ice. Meta was able to knock it down. 45 seconds left in the power play. 7 to the middle for Stewart. Got past her. Goes to De Silva, who gives off to Kate Stewart. Cross to Swanson. Swanson to 7, quickly to Meta. Swanson. Back to Meta. Down low to Silva. Now De Silva coming out from the point, gives off to 7. 7 to Meta. 25 seconds to go. De Silva gives to Meta again. Meta takes the shot, deflected wide, big rebound. And able to clear that one as Keel before it got to De Silva. Sore quickly ahead to De Silva, trying to catch the Ice Wolves on the line change. De Silva didn't have anyone behind her. The defense making changes. Here's Dion, just offside. Two seconds left in the power play, so it looks like Kingston will kill off another one. Sharks now 1 for 4. Winter wins the draw. Dion trying to send it in. That was broken up. Goes right to McKay though. Winter, a shot stopped by Reed. Reed's been perfect since coming into the game after Claire Staub was pulled, allowing 4 goals in the opening period. Chambers drops it back for McFarland. Off the boards. Shoot to the middle, knocked down. Dion played ahead to McKay. Gives it to Winter. Mallory Winter drops it back to McKay. Battling with Mulder. McKay gets it back to the point. Here's Dion, a shot. Deflection knocks it down. Chance at the net. Stopped by Reed. The face-off, Mulder couldn't get it out. Nice keep in there by Willard. Willard to the middle. Here's a one-timer blocked. Working around. Willard keeps it in. Played down behind the net. Got there by shooting out of the zone. Wallace. Sent back in. Keel is there. She'll go behind the net for Borton. Puck comes around. There's Brumwell. Brumwell to the point. Willard. Sent down behind the net. Behind Reed. Chambers gets it ahead to Charette. Charette to Willard. Willard up ahead to France. That's deflected into the zone. Borton is there. Flipped ahead. That comes out. Right back to 7. Piper 7. Battling for it. That's played ahead. Grabbed by Meta. Meta off the boards. Larman. Larman into the zone. Coming to the middle. That's broken up. Borton gets it to Weimer. Back the other way. That comes out of the zone. Here's Severn. Lost it there. Now grabbed by Meta. Meta off the boards. Knocked down by Weimer. 7 to Larman up ahead. Here's Kaya Harbeck. Backhanded forward. Knocked down. Collision there. Harbeck. Broken up. Grabbed by Osborne. Kicked by Larman. Puck comes around. Meta able to keep it in. Harbeck comes to the middle. Takes a shot. Stopped by Reed and a whistle. Just over 5 minutes gone by here in the third period. Sharks trying to close this one out. Looking for win 15 on the air. Here's De Silva, scores! Bring out the hats. It's a hat trick for El De Silva, and the Sharks lead 5-2. Get a new puck. Congrats to El De Silva. first career U22 elite hat trick. It's the second hat trick of the year for the Sharks. Kate Stewart had one earlier this season in North York against the Storm. Battle for it. Cosgrave gives to Stewart. Played through the middle. Grabbed by Fisher. Up ahead to White. Kathleen Dion is there. Dion around for Cosgrave. Cosgrave trying to work to the middle. That's broken up. Cosgrave ahead to De Silva. Pass across. Swanson kicks it in. It's knocked out of the zone now. Pierre getting it past Willard. Ice Wolves probably getting desperate now. Down by 3 with 13:59 to go. Stewart. Cross ice feed to Keller. Keller ahead to McKay. They're off the boards. That's broken up. Ice Wolves able to get it back though. Here's Goliath. Ship it off the boards into the zone. No icing there. Willard up ahead. That's intercepted. Goliath to the point for Keel. Keel takes a shot. Sador gets a piece of it. Back up the point. Borton. Broken up by Charette. Flipped out the other way. Keller trying to get to it. Knocked down by Keel. She'll spin back. Keller intercepts. And now here comes Winter. Winter's shot. That's blocked. Allie Winter now. Spinning it back down low for McKay. Put out front. Out to the point. Here's Meta. A chance blocked. Puck's loose. Meta gets it back. Coming around. Sonia Meta to 7. 7. Back to Meta again. She'll step up. Takes the shot. That's deflected over top. 7 broken up. Down the corner. Comes up the boards as they battle for it again. It's knocked free to Keel and sent out the other way. Sador out of her net. Gives off to Piper 7. Quickly ahead. Winter. And backhanded in. And she'll head off on a change. Rathwell. Coming around. Gets it through. But not out of the zone. Here comes Brumwell. Through the middle. Brumwell for France. Rathwell sends her into the boards. Puck comes back to McCoy. McCoy up ahead to shoot. It's knocked down. Battle for it. Brumwell trying to knock it free. Brumwell gets it, knocks it back. Cosgrave. Pass Severn to Wallace. She chips it ahead now, maybe a 2-on-1. Severn and Brumwell into the zone. Severn fanned on the shot. She lost the puck as she tried to shoot it. The Sharks were looking for more there. McCoy playing it through the middle. Puck goes down the length of the ice. Icing waved off. Larman is there. Plays it forward to Cosgrave. Cosgrave's shot. Offside, though. 11:43 to go in the third period. Here's Harbeck. Tried to send it into the zone, broken up. Back the other way, Wimmer. Wimmer coming in, offside. Severn. Got past Trotter. Now spins back on Wimmer. Now going to take a skate. Past 1. Plays it ahead to Harbeck. She'll tip it into the zone. Harbeck. Alford in the corner. Larman. Kicking it forward. She's taken down. Osborne gives it up though. Stewart back to the point for Charette. Charette takes the shot, knocked down. Fisher sent through the middle for Osborne. That missed. Puck goes down the length of the ice. And that one will be an icing with 11 minutes to go. Stewart, De Silva, and Swanson on the draw. Stewart wins it back to De Silva. She had 2 goals coming into today. She's got 3 alone in this game. That comes out. Meta. Cross to 7. 7 up the boards into the zone. Reed knocks it down. Keel. Comes ahead. Plays it to Pierre. Pierre across to White. Coming in. That's broken up. Swanson. Tried to cut in. Now sent back down. Sador makes the save. Meta is there. Meta. Back to Swanson. Played forward. Stewart back the other way. Maybe a 2-on-1 for the Sharks. Stewart up the wing, coming in. Backhander. Stopped by Reed. Rebound to Silva. Nearly had her 4th of the game there. Keel up to Pierre. The other way, Pierre knocked off her stick. Dion. Swanson. That goes all the way over, almost right onto the stick of Stewart. Gets it now, gives to Keller. Keller, cross ice. Here's a chance for McKay. Stopped by Reed. Nice pass by Keller and a good chance there for McKay. Winter chips it down low, behind the net, Keller. Swings it out to McKay, waits. Goes back to the point, Dion now a shot, that's broken up, knocked down to McKay. Chip back to Cosgrave. Cosgrave to Keller, back to Cosgrave again. Cosgrave takes the shot, that's blocked, hit Jarman. She's got to head off, McKay to the middle, Keller takes the shot, stopped by Reed. Keller able to collect her own rebound, gets it to McKay. Back to the point, Dion. Dion takes a shot, that's blocked. Foul for it, Kingston with it. Floated ahead out of the zone. Cosgrave. She plays the forward, now going to cut to the middle. Here goes Cosgrave, upended. And the Ice Wolves get it back. McKay was nearly able to sneak in and get it. Now Brumwell has it. Brumwell to McKay, put it out front. Here's Winter. Reed got enough of that one. Rebound Brumwell. Sharks continue to put on the pressure. Nice pass to McKay. Maddie McKay coming to the middle. Steps up, spins back. Back to the point now, Charette. Willard. Off the boards, down low, behind the net, Brumwell. Trying to get it free of McCoy. Battle now. Mulder gets it out, sent right back in by Charette. Here goes McFarland up the wing. France trying to keep it in the zone. It'll come out. Battle for it. France trying to bring it in now, and she will. Racing waved off. Puck goes down behind the net. Keel backhand it back. France trying to get in front of that one. Couldn't. Sent across the shoot. That's broken up. Now the Sharks have it again. Here's Wallace. Takes the shot. Blocked there. May have hit France. Wallace now tried to backhand it out front. That was broken up. Chambers is there. Plays it to shoot. Played for Chambers. Gets it across. Chloe Telfer coming into the zone, trying to get it around Charette. She will, but Gabby Willard's there to get the puck. Charette takes a seat there. She was taken down, but Kingston remains in possession. Here's Keel. Trying to make a move, broken up. Severn, she goes down hard into the boards. Coming around. Back to the point. Here's a shot. That's blocked by Charette. Back the other way, Adrielle Charette. Had a goal earlier in the game. She'll chip it off the boards and head off on a change. 7:09 to go. Borton plays it ahead. Puck comes to the middle. Keel knocked it down. White is there. White broken up. Winter, nice move. Backhands it forward. That'll come out. Sonia Meta. Back to 7. There's 7 up the wing. That's sent in. Keel's clearing attempt was blocked. Puck goes down behind the net. Fisher to Meta. Paddle for it. Now Winter comes free, puts it out front. Here's Larman, a chance. That's blocked. Puck loose for Harbeck. Her backhander denied. Rebound goes to McFarland up the wing now. Looking for Pierre. That's broken up by Meta. 7. Drops it back. Meta. Battling with Pierre. Meta got past 7. Larman there. She'll take the puck. Gives to Winter. Winter cross for Harbeck. Takes a stumble there. Puck will come out of the zone. Grabbed by Fisher. Sent in. Grabbed by Sador. She'll leave it behind the net. For Cosgrave, who gets there first. Gives off to Stewart. Stewart up the wing, gets it out of the zone. Fisher ahead to Verona. Gets it back in. Stewart around for Cosgrave. Up ahead for El De Silva. De Silva chipping it around McCoy. Still got the puck. De Silva. McCoy grabs it, puts it behind the net for Stewart. 5:30 to go. Stewart up on the point. Still has it, takes a shot. That's stopped by Reed. Rebound loose, sent out of the zone by Pierre. Kathleen Dion ahead for De Silva. She'll come right back into the zone, putting it to the net for Swanson. That's broken up. And now back the other way, Keel makes a move on Winter. Keel into the zone, offside with just under 5 minutes to go. The Sharks leading 5-2 over Kingston. It's the El De Silva show today. A hat trick for her, 2 goals in the first, and she got her latest goal here in the third period. Charette and McKay with goals as well for the Sharks. Here's Dion ahead for the aforementioned McKay. She'll come into the zone, working around Borton, puts it out front, just missed Winter and Keller there. Puck comes out of the zone to Charette. Cross to Dion. Comes to the middle, knocked down by Keel. She'll get it out. Here comes Telfer. Telfer makes a move, tried to take a shot. That's broken up. Been a while since Kingston's really been able to pressure Ava Sador. That's backhanded down to Charette. She'll grab it, plays it off the boards, up in the air, knocked down by Mulder. And played with a glove, so that'll be whistled down. France and Chambers on the draw. Brumwell back to Charette. Played ahead to Wallace. She'll get it into the zone as the Sharks continue to try and kill this clock down. Time running thin on Kingston. Here's Brumwell out front. One-timer Wallace off the crossbar. Taylor Wallace came close there to extending her lead in points among Shark players. Here's Chambers coming to the net. Takes the shot. Stopped by Sador. Off the draw, battle for it. Trotter taken down. Puck goes behind the net for 7. 7 to Harbeck. Knocked loose. Puck comes free. Trotter trying to put it to the net. That's broken up. Here goes 7 around. 7 ahead for Larman. Larman up the wing into the zone. That's broken up. Grabbed by Severn. Severn going down low for Larman. That's broken up. Back the other way. Comes to the mill for Osborne. That's knocked down. Larman to Severn into the zone. 3:20 to go. Severn couldn't get it free, and now back the other way come the Sharks. Rathwell up the wing. That's sent into the zone. Cosgrave is there. It's a move. Cosgrave. Backhanded forward. Larman. Larman able to get it in. Heads off on a change. Here's Stewart trying to knock it free. It's grabbed by Kingston. They couldn't get it out though. Stewart tried to give off. Puck comes back to the point. Dion trying to chip it down low. Intercepted. Fired ahead for Verona off that pass from Borton into the zone. Verona. That's easily broken up by Cosgrave. De Silva played ahead for Swanson. She may have a break. Past the defense. Simone Swanson in all alone. Scores! First goal of the season for Simone Swanson. She makes it 6-2. They're going to need the puck for that one. It's her first U22 Elite goal. It's a day of milestones for the Sharks. The hat trick for De Silva, and then she gets an assist on Simone Swanson's first U22 Elite goal. 6-2 with 2.5 minutes to go. Back the other way to Silva. Backhanded pass to Stewart. Back the other way they come. Swanson's got another chance. Simone Swanson all alone. Stopped by Reed. This line has been electric for the Sharks tonight. They're the reason for 4 of their goals, including the 2 here in the third period. Back the other way. Puck comes to the middle. Here's Willard. McKay tips it forward. Winter backhanded to De Silva. De Silva just going to play it forward, head off on a change. McCoy played forward, grabbed by Shoot. She'll come through the middle. Shoot into the zone, takes the shot up over top of Sador. Rebound 7 up the wing, kept in the zone. Rothwell broken up by Winter. That comes across, Charette. Chipped ahead, Winter is there. Played across to Keller. She couldn't get there in time. Rothwell chips it back the other way. 1.5 minutes to go in this one. It's like the Sharks are going to get back in the win column here today. Puck out front, and they couldn't put it past Sador there. That went wide. Mulder pinned to the boards by 7. Puck down behind the net. Charette trying to play it forward. Shoot back to the point for Keel. Keel takes the shot blocked. 7 to Keller. Back the other way. Jenny Keller plays it forward. Puck goes down behind the net. Final minute here from the East Bayfield Community Center. The Sharks, a big effort today. 6 goals en route to a big victory after losing their last 2 games against tough teams, playing another tough one today in Kingston. And they maybe let all their frustrations out from the last couple games here tonight. A big effort. Taylor Walsh with the puck there, trying to get it out of the zone. For Kingston, now a 2-game losing streak. They'll be off the next week as well, and they'll play a back-to-back with North York and Mississauga in 2 weeks to try and get things back going for the Sharks. They'll be riding high into the U.S. Canada Cup before a couple games on the road in 2 weeks. Friday in Cambridge, Saturday in London. Severn wins the draw. Dion to the middle for Larman. Gives off to Severn. That's broken up. Here's Pierre back the other way, taken down by Larman. And for fun, we'll have one more penalty in this game. Larman to the box. Hooking is the call. We'll get one more power play to finish it off. The Ice Wolves 0 for 4 so far tonight. We'll see if they can make it 1 for 5. Here's Pierre. Sent to the net. One-timer White, stopped by Sador. 3 seconds to go. It's pinned into the corner, and that'll do it. 6-2 your final for the Barrie Sharks. A big win today. Ava Sador was great in net as always, and El De Silva, though, the story of today's game. 3 goals and an assist. Simone Swanson gets her first career U22 elite goal. Shrett and Maddie McKay add goals to their totals as well. And the Sharks will head into the U.S. Canada Cup with 15 wins on the season. A big 3 points here over Kingston to extend their gap to 5 points over them. So after today's Sharks' next stream will be in 2 weeks on December 12th against the Cambridge Revealettes. That game will go live on December 12th at 7 p.m. Then the next day it's London on December 13th at 3:15 p.m. But that's going to do it here today from the East Bayfield Community Center for Kingsley McPherson. My name is Josh McCann. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.